Hi, welcome back to channel FIFA Mobile. Alright, congratulations, I think you made it if you have collected this player 94ST. Lots of effort taken. I think it's time for a player review later on, okay? For now, I'm just going to see through the last match before we claim that player. And of course, it comes with a skill match as well, okay? So you can see, as usual, I think this is the last match. If you are on the hard path itself, I think it will be one of the nightmares because normally I do feel in the hard path last match, and you know what, sometimes even you claimed so-called the win in this last match, you might fail in the last skill game. So the hard path is really hard, I must say, because it's really difficult, and of course one of the most frustrating thing about a hard path is basically the need for starting from scratch, which means that once you fail, you go back to day one and you claim all the way all the wins from the skill matches and the difficult matches. And I think the most frustrating part of that is really the versus attack, because those versus play it's a lot of game being rigged. Then you have watched my video about the weekend tournament, you know what I mean, because end of the day, most of the time you'll be giving very hard competitor, and if that's the case, it's almost impossible to win them. And even you pass through the first versus play, you may be faced with the second very difficult versus play, and that will derail you from completing your path in the hard mode. But again, if you want to claim the I think the icons player hard mode, hard path is really the way to go. But unfortunately, I think I will make that because I've been working on the easy path so far. Alright, so now focus back on this last match itself. You can see that sometimes it's so frustrating to get a goal. You can see it takes a very long while before you manage to get a goal, and even though you may say that you're offside. So sometimes I don't really like it when it comes to such a rigged way of making sure you fail. So I don't think it's really fantastic to have such a game designed in this manner. So this is the frustrating part that we face. I mean, in versus attack, giving you impossible competitor, and in this kind of H2H kind of match, they are trying to rig the system by having all your goals hitting the goalpost bar itself rather than entering the goal. And once you enter it, they refuse to accept it by saying that it's offside. So these are the few frustrating things you will experience, but do not give up. I mean, eventually you need to win all this path 10 times, I believe, to get this fantastic ST, which definitely I'll come to the player review later on. Almost halfway through, bear with me for a while, and after that I'll give you a good player review. Or if not, if you wish to, you could actually fast forward to the ending part of this video, whereby you'll see a player review of that fantastic 94ST. Come to talk about that fantastic 94ST, I made a comparison between Ronaldo and Zola, and I think the matter with this 94ST is two things. I think one, the attack work rate isn't that high, it's medium. The height isn't fantastic. So these are the two things that actually deter me from putting him into the actual playing 11 players. Of course, with Ronaldo around and with Zola around, it's unlikely I'll replace him unless I intend to sell Ronaldo away. The other thing I don't really like about this 94ST is indeed the acceleration and sprint speed. You can't compare it to some of the attackers. That's really, I thought, something that could have been improved for this player. Otherwise, it is a bit tough. I mean, when you later on, when you come to that player review, you'll notice I try to push him, but you can't really move that fast. As compared to Zola and Ronaldo, the speed and acceleration is so much faster. And of course, the only good thing about this player, I think, is the finishing. I think it's quite good in terms of 120. But if you are talking about the other things like good height for a very good header, not so. But I've tried the header during the player review as well. I find that not too bad, I must say, but it cannot be comparable to what you experience using Ronaldo, okay? Just like Zola is not good at header. Of course, Ronaldo is one of the better ones if you're using headers. and you just got to find the right match, because if you have two ST both that are not good headers, like example Zola and this current 94 ST that I'm going to claim later on, there might be an issue, because sometimes you use the tactic of cross and header in. That may be a bit difficult for you. So for me, I'll probably just stick with still Ronaldo. Alright, 7-0 and end of this match. We'll move on to the next one. I think it's a skill game itself before we finally complete that path in this easy mode. Just to share a bit, I didn't all the way play the easy mode. I played 2 times the hard path. The both 2 times hard path was driving me nuts, and it was really frustrating that I eventually gave up on playing hard mode. I did complete the both hard mode path, but I'll almost take me a couple of hours, because every time you got to reset, especially with the part whereby you failed the last match. The last match was terribly difficult, and what's most frustrating is that even you pass that, they'll fail you in the last skill game. So like this kind of skill game, you didn't expect to fail in the easy mode, because there are 8 chances. It's almost impossible to fail, okay? But in the hard mode, it's a different story altogether. There's a good chance of you failing the last one, and you go back all the way to the starting ground. So that's something I do not like about this event, given the fact that it's that difficult. Why do they do that? Because there's a lot of differences in terms of rewards. There are a lot of lunar points differences. I may not be able to claim that LB with this fantastic events player, but nonetheless, I'm happy to claim this. Finally, we made it. It's really great. Alright, looking at the stats, particularly I like the finishing and the power shot, but I said before, I don't like the height, I don't like the medium attack work rate. This would impede his basically heading and whatnot, but of course he has a header of 109. And something I do not like also about this player, it cannot be auctioned off. So that's something that you're gonna stick with. You either use him, if not you're gonna bench him. Alright, so now just very quick comparison to the Zola. Defending, physical, shooting and passing is much better, but pace is much lower. Of course, we're going to compare next one to the better 96 ST. So put back Zola and let's do a comparison to the 96 ST Ronaldo. It's better in terms of defending, physical and passing, but fare very poorly in terms of pace, as I mentioned much earlier. So now let's quickly do a player review of this 94 ST. But fantastic finishing of 120 and power shot. Take a look. Alright, so no issue there in getting the goal in, as long as it's directly in front of him. No issue at all. Even I think further you can make it. Okay, so let's quick replay. Take a look. Fantastic shot there by this player. Of course, next we're gonna test something else, not only on power shot. We're gonna test. Take a look at this move. Okay, so alright, so you can see there the finishing is superb. This is something that I think one of the better finishing player that you can have. Let's test on the dribbling and ball control next. Okay, from the starting point at the midfield, you see we can make it all the way. Alright, so it's this is unfortunate. I mean, this is not expected, but this is sometimes the case from the developer itself. Of course, taking a shot, penalty shot by Beckham is almost guaranteed. Alright, let's continue to review his agility and reaction. Take a look again. It's really good in terms of that agility and reaction. No problem, get the ball. He can actually swerve his way through and then get the ball into the net. So no issue at all. The goalpost is always there for him. Alright, so great. This is one last look at this fantastic entry into the goal. Alright, next let's test something else. A heel-to-heel special move. Yes, I'm going to show you that. Okay, take a look. Roulette is expected. This is a heel-to-heel, but of course, I do like flip-flap better, because sometimes heel-to-heel is not as good as flip-flap. Alright, so Let's test the next one. Is a header. He has a heading of 109. Unfortunately for his height, he's not as tall as I wanted, but definitely with a 109 heading, there's a good chance he will be able to head it in. But again, it all depends on the positioning. Sometimes you couldn't really get it in because his position is far away. But one thing advantage of getting notice of who this player is and how to identify him is really this one I don't know how to say it, but it's easily identified if you know what I mean by looking at the hair. Alright, so it's not a header, it was a nice finish. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do like and subscribe, and then drop me your comments if anything I can help. I'm more than happy to do so. Thank you for watching again, and good luck. Goodbye.